Okay, we are back at the desk, I guess over there. Today I want to talk about something that everyone does in the outdoors that is kind of a mistake. It's not the end of the world, but life could be so much better. Ziploc bag, a gallon-size Ziploc with just a regular closure, not the fancy closure, with a pound of rice in it. And this is pretty standard way to pack food for people active in the outdoors. And I want to call out two different people. One is Jim Baird on YouTube, who's a great outdoorsman. I was watching his Yukon video series, and I was amazed to see that he had food in Ziplocs. And the other is the Deliberate Life Bus crew, who are friends of mine, who I know really well. I worked with both of them, and are amazing adventurers, and just hiked the Long Trail in Vermont with their two little girls. They use Ziplocs, and I have a couple problems with these. My biggest problem is that early in my outdoor career, a Ziploc bag failed and a camera died because of it, which is clearly my fault. I shouldn't have trusted a Ziploc to do that, and it cost me a lot of money. But there are other problems, and a big part of the problem is this closure. It just takes up a lot of space in your pack, or in however you're packing your food. So like you can roll this up and pack it, and it's not bad, but you can see there's still air trapped in there. And the problem with that is that when you get air trapped in a Ziploc, and I'm going to exaggerate this for effect, when you pop it like that, the bag will open up inside your bag. So think about it, not so much popping it like that, but air trapped inside there. And then you toss your backpack or the dry bag that your stuff is in, and that pressure forces the Ziploc open. And so even when I'm fairly careful, right, there's still a little bit of air trapped in there. The other problem with this is sold in a bag of 28. This is a gallon-size Ziploc, and they range in price from 17 cents a piece to 23 cents a piece, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when I'm doing a month-long trip, I'm using 30 or 40 or more bags just for myself. And so I'm just not a huge fan of Ziplocs. They just, I'm just not a fan, right? And so the question then becomes, what do I use if I don't use Ziplocs? And the answer is I'm still using a plastic bag, but I'm using this plastic bag. This is also a pound of rice, so you can sort of see packability. I like this far more. This doesn't have a fancy Ziploc closure. You just do a gentle knot in here. The other nice thing about this is that you can roll this back, like when you're prepping your meal. Roll that back and you've got a bag that's easy to get into and easy to pour from. And I'll use this for everything from candy and M&Ms and stuff like that, to rice and pasta, to cheese. Just everything that's going on a trip with me is going in a bag like this. They pack smaller and easier in a dry bag or a stuff sack. They're just awesome. This is something that I picked up working for Knowles, and something I still do today. And so the question becomes, why do this, right? And the answer is, I like the packability, but really what I like is the cost. So people end up with these because it's convenient. You're in the supermarket, you're buying stuff to go on your trip already, so you'll just grab a couple or 3 boxes of Ziplocs, and you're good to go. Whereas with this, you need to be thinking ahead. I order these online from webrestaurantstore.com. They are food grade poly bags that measure 6 by 3 by 15, and they're 1.5 mils thick. And here's the thing. These Ziplocs come in a bag or a box of 28. These come in a box of 1,000. And that sounds like a lot, but think about it. You'll never have to buy bags again. And the real beauty is that a box is $25.99, which breaks down to 2.5 cents per bag. And so when I'm doing consulting with someone who's doing a big trip, I generally give them a stack of bags. It costs me nothing. It saves them time. It makes their day. But for a normal human, a box of 1,000 is going to last probably for the rest of your life. For me, it lasts 2 years, maybe 3 years, which is still pretty darn good for 25 bucks, 26 bucks. And so that is my tip of the day. And I really can't recommend doing something like this more. I think this is a game changer for a lot of people. It saves you money. It packs smaller. It's easier to work with in the field. Just super, super easy. That and a scale, and you can do all your food for any trip. If you like things like that, that is in my book Go, which is a trip planning book. It's on Amazon. It's also on Apple Books if you're an iPad person. And check out Deliberate Life Bus on Instagram and Jim Baird on YouTube. I didn't mean to call either of those groups out. I have a lot of respect for both of them. They're both great adventurers. Well, Jim Baird is a great adventurer, and the Deliberate Life Bus people are great adventurers. So check both of them out in their respective places. And that's my sort of tip for the day. There's a lot more stuff like that in here. Everything from packing and layering and clothing and gear to sponsorships and power for gear, things like that. All inside there on Amazon. Hey, that's all I got for today. I'll see you outside.